All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video as we go inside the locker room and bring you along with us as we go through everything that happened down in Santa Clara on a Wednesday. And, Kyle Shanahan spoke to us. Of course, it's Saints week 2, Niners 1-0, going out on the road, taking on the New Orleans Saints. We will be there in the Big Easy, courtesy of our good friends at Claw Daddy Arcades. Great follow on Instagram at claw_daddy_arcades. But Kyle Shanahan spoke today, and we'll get to that. And of course, the Krug Show brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. And they do run out. So get there early, get some brisket chili. Tell them the Krug sent you. But we talked to Shanahan today, and it's Saints week, and the Niners are looking to win on the road. And it sounds like they're going to have to win on the road with some new faces. That's right. Brock Purdy is a long shot to play on Sunday. So get ready to see McCorkle Jones at quarterback making his very first start in a 49er uniform. Who thought we would see Mac Jones start up, by week 2, but that's exactly the way it's going to be. Juwan Jennings has a shoulder injury and did not practice. Now he is trending towards going. Obviously, the story of the day today was that the Niners cut Jake Moody and signed Eddy Pineiro to be their kicker. And we're going to hear from Pinero. We're going to hear from Kendrick Bourne, who also was signed this week. And then we'll hear from Jason Pinoch, who's one game into his 49er tenure, and he's already kind of a trusted hand on that defense. And we'll talk to him about how he wound up here and a little bit about his career to date. So we got all that straight ahead. But, the Niners made some news today. They signed a tight end. Messiah Swinson is a tight end, a 6'7", 260-pound, 25-year-old tight end who played collegiately at Missouri and at ASU. He was signed today to the practice squad with George Kittle being on the IR. They're going to promote Braden Willis off the practice squad. That means they needed another practice squad tight end. And Swinson is that guy. And the Niners also worked out Mike White today. They got to do some roster mechanics before they can add another quarterback, but Shanahan said they'd like to add another quarterback. All they have right now healthy are Adrian Martinez and Mac Jones. And, Mike White is a veteran. He's played for Dallas, the Jets, Miami, Buffalo, played at South Florida and Western Kentucky, has had 7 career NFL starts and is 2-5 in those starts. And we'll see if the Niners ultimately wind up signing Mike White, the former Jet. At one point, the Jets were wearing Mike White t-shirts, in support of Mike White over Zach Wilson, if you remember. So we'll see if Mike White winds up being a 49er. One guy that is a 49er for his second stint is Kendrick Bourne, and he held court today inside the locker room. And let's hear what Kendrick had to say, and then we'll talk about it in just a second.
Hi, everyone. How you guys doing? It's a lot of cameras. Yeah, he's been helping me get acclimated to his question too, just studying with him and stuff like that. He's been just giving me tips, gems of how to think about things and things like that. So it's dope to be around somebody that I know, just using it to my advantage to get acclimated.
In lieu of you next to your horse, I'm curious to know if going out there with the Saints with Mac Jones, more than likely it is starting to be. Does that kind of help you get a little acclimated, a little quicker, or just not really happen?
Yeah, just being prepared, whatever is happening, injuries happen, like that. So whatever you say, who's going to be up, who's down, we got to adjust. And so me knowing him obviously helps. So we have a connection, things like that. Speak to each other a certain way. He can get on in certain ways because we're already connected, which is ironic, but just being prepared for who's ever's going to throw the ball and just doing what I need to do to be prepared in the spots that I need to be. It works out.
Kendrick, is it too much to ask that you come in on a Monday and play on a Sunday?
No, I don't think it's too much. I think it's up to me. It's my preparation. So I've been meeting with Hank extra, meeting with him early, meeting with him every kind of second I get because It's just getting acclimated, knowing where I'm going to go, different spots, trying to know the concepts and stuff like that. So I don't think it's too much to ask, but it's up to me. It falls on me. So if I go out there not knowing what I'm doing, it's because I didn't study enough and things like that. So I've been just attacking it this week, and I'm excited to see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm excited to see.
And then going back to Mac, when he had that good rookie season, and I know you guys had a lot of changes over there on the offensive side, a lot of maybe even dysfunction.
Yeah.
How did he handle that? And just what do you think of him as a quarterback?
Yeah, he did a great job. Mac helped me when I transitioned over there. He was his rookie year, and I had one of my best years, so it was just dope to be around. And then just things go how they go. Every year is different, so some are good, some are bad, and we kind of just both fell victim to certain situations and just not going the way we probably planned it to go. But I think everything works in God's favor and God's plan, so I think that's kind of what's happening. But he definitely took the adversity on the chin. Just to see him here and the joy he has, I'm excited.
What do you say? A couple more guys. The best traits of Mac Jones as a quarterback.
Everything. He knows what he's doing. He's used to it. He's been a starter in this league. He experiences everything, so he knows what to see. He knows how to study. He knows exactly what to do. So I'm secure in how prepared he is.
Whenever I think of your first stint with the 49ers, I come back to that Superdome game in 2019. You had that TD in the fourth quarter, like the crazy one. When you think back to your first stint, what were some of the best memories?
Yeah, that was one of them. Super Bowl was obviously the best memory, experiencing that, the playoffs, the whole run, something I've been missing, something I want to help be around, help build, and that's what I'm here to do, just work, earn my role. Say I'm not asking for nothing. It's just dope having relationships with people that I already know, so they understand where I stand with that, and they know my character on hand. When anything handed to me, I'm here to work, I'm here to help the team. Those memories were the best times.
All right.
There you go. A little bit of Kendrick Bourne from earlier today inside the locker room. And it's interesting. Shanahan thinks it could take some time, even though Bourne has been here, before. He's never really worked with Brock Purdy. Now he's getting to work with Mac Jones. Now he did work with Mac Jones in New England, but when Shanahan was asked this afternoon about this, did he feel like Bourne could be up to speed quick because he knows Mac Jones? He kind of downplayed it a little bit and made it seem like there may be some sort of a ramp-up period. So he might be able to play this weekend, but, I think the Niners are going to have 5 receivers up. 4 of them or 3 of them are going to be Ricky Pearsall, Sky Moore, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So those 3 guys are probably going to be up. 2 more guys are going to be up as well. Excuse me, out of Juwan Jennings, who's got a shoulder injury, but it sounds like it's not too serious to prevent him from going. Jordan Watkins, who's trying to work back from a high ankle sprain, and Kendrick Bourne. And I guess you could also throw Russell Gage in that mix as well. Gage could get the practice squad elevation. Gage is on the practice squad, so he's got they can only be elevated 3 times. So we'll see. Will they elevate Gage right here? I think the plan probably initially was to say, yeah, but now it might be only if Bourne is not up to speed. If Bourne's up to speed, maybe Gage gets activated. If Bourne does not get activated, if Bourne is not up to speed, and then maybe Bourne isn't activated or doesn't play, and you see Gage activated off the practice squad. So the Niners, it should be interesting. I would love to see Jordan Watkins, and I don't know exactly the seriousness of Juwan Jennings in his shoulder injury. So. They'll have their guys ready to roll. The one thing about Bourne, he knows the system, and he's kind of a big play guy. But he hasn't played in this system in a long time. And, he did suffer an ACL tear in 2023. And is he the same guy? Can he separate? I mean, the Niners are paying him $5 million. They must have saw something in the workout that said to them that, there's some juice left with Kendrick Bourne. So had a chance to catch up with Kendrick Bourne, and there you go, a little bit of that dialogue right there. And, I have to think that if the 49ers, I liked the game plan in week 1 because the game plan was very much, let's protect the young defense by playing ball control. The 49ers ran the ball in the third quarter 61% of the time. They came out on drive 6 and 7 and just said, we are committing to the run. And that's something that Kyle Shanahan hasn't always done, especially in the second half of games where he kind of views it as like it's anybody's ball game. Sometimes he gets real aggressive and goes away from the run game. But in this game, on drive 6 and drive 7, the Niners recommitted to their run game. And if you look at it, it took Seattle a little bit out of their own run game. And I thought it was one of the key factors in the game because the 49ers had a lot more juice and a lot more energy in the fourth quarter on both sides of the ball than the Seahawks did. And I think a lot of that was because they dominated the time of possession in that third quarter. They ran the ball 61% of the time in the quarter. And I think they're going to do more of the same this week. So I think it's going to be a run-heavy game plan to protect Mac Jones, to limit how many times they drop him back to pass. You know, the Saints team had 5 sacks. Cam Jordan, Granderson, they got some guys up front that can go after the quarterback. And so I think the 49ers are going to try to run it down their throat. Maybe not as many runs for McCaffrey, but maybe more for Brian Robinson and maybe a few for Garendo. I could see the 49ers committing to a volume-based rushing attack and looking to be a little bit more efficient. Niners ran for like 3-1 a carry. That's not efficient. They ran it a lot, and they won the game, but they weren't efficient running the football, and I think you're going to see them try to improve on that efficiency and have a run-heavy plan here in week 2 against the Saints in the Dome on Sunday, where we will be courtesy of Claudaddy Arcades. Thank you, Claudaddy Arcades, for sending us to New Orleans. And we'll be reporting from the Big Easy starting Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and we'll be returning on Tuesday. So looking forward to our trip to the Big Easy. Well, one guy we're going to see is Eddy Pineiro, or as Raj likes to say, Eddy P. He was fired up calling him Eddy P the other night in the live stream. Eddy Pineiro, and I'm really excited about this guy for a lot of reasons. One, it's just the Niners needed to go with a proven veteran, and that's what this guy is. And you can just tell he's durable emotionally and mentally, and that's a big part about being a kicker in the NFL. The NFL is total cutthroat. Only quarterbacks, for the most part, have any security. Everybody else is like here today, gone tomorrow. But there is no position that's more like all or nothing. Like if you succeed, you're great, and if you fail, you're trash. Like a place kicker in the NFL. It's really just as simple as, hey, if you make them, you're great. And if not, you're not great. Shanahan was asked about Moody and was it hard to cut Moody? And he's like, well, it wasn't really a hard decision to make because Moody basically made the decision for him. He says it wasn't that much of a decision. It is what it is. He appeared to lose his confidence. He didn't make enough. He was too inconsistent. And Shanahan and Lynch sat down with them, and it sounded like Jake agreed with them. It kind of reminds me of the Moneyball scene where you had Mike Magnante. Hey, Mike, we got to get you out of the clubhouse. And you got Ricardo Rincon walking in, and it's the same kind of thing. It's like, a couple days ago, we're like, hey, Jake, how you doing? And now Jake's out of there, and here in his place, in front of his locker, holding court in front of the media today, the veteran kicker, Eddy Pineiro.
Nice. Wow. A lot of people here.
So, Eddie, why is this a good fit? Obviously, you're coming to town and long career. How's this a good fit for you?
Yeah, I'm super excited to be here. Just getting an opportunity to play here and make the best of it. So.
Possible you can kind of dial us into like how much of a whirlwind of weekend it's been for you coming to the 49ers, getting that call.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week. I was supposed to leave to Atlanta yesterday until I got the call to come over here and took the opportunity and didn't look back. So super happy.
So you had a choice between here and Atlanta. What kind of went into choosing here over?
Yeah, I mean, I want to win games. I want to be a part of a good culture, and I'm in my 8th year of my career, and I want to win. So,
Eddie, you kicked in Carolina a couple of years. What's it like kicking in New Orleans?
Yeah, it was fun. It's a little dark, not too many lights, but it's loud. It's fun. I mean, when I was with the Panthers the last 3 years, played them 6 times. It's fun. It's fun and loud. So.
You're just getting to know the guys. I mean, you may have just gotten here. I don't know how long you've been here, but how has conversations been? Maybe with Boyer, maybe with other guys here in the locker room. What's that been like?
Yeah, it's good. It's positive, and at the end of the day, just got to make kicks. And I know if I don't make kicks, I'll be out of here. Just got to make kicks.
Was it weird not being in a camp this summer, right?
Say it again?
Was it odd not being in a camp this summer, sort of being away?
Yeah, I mean, I could have been in camp. I just wanted the right opportunity, and thank God this opportunity came up, and this is what I wanted. So,
Are you surprised? I was going to ask you just that, given your track record and career resume, it seemed odd that you had not been signed.
Yeah.
Can you just talk a little bit more about being choosy and what
Yeah,
was going to be the right opportunity?
Yeah, like I said earlier, like I've been, I've been on a couple teams, and at this point I want to win. So I wanted to go to a team where we have a good shot to win, and this was the best opportunity, and giving myself the best shot to succeed. And I feel like this is a spot. So
at some point were you going like, okay, I don't want it to be November, or
Yeah. I didn't think I was gonna let it get to that point, but I wanted to go somewhere where we can win. So, and this is the place to be. So.
Eddie, is it easier to deal with the pressure as being a veteran as opposed to when you came into the league?
Absolutely, yeah. When you're a rookie, it's a little tougher, but obviously being my 8th year, just I know the process. I know how it works. You got to make kicks, and now you're gone. So it's just part of the process.
What was kind of your regimen while you're away, like over the summer when you're not in a camp? What was your regimen just to kind of stay ready?
Yeah, I was kicking 3 times a week back home, staying in shape, just staying ready. So.
And in terms of technique and distance, where are you at right now? Where you feel comfortable right now?
Good. I wasn't going anything past 60 yards when I was training, but I think my leg's strong enough to get back there if we need to, but just getting the opportunity. So.
What kind of communication do you have to have with Weeks before you feel comfortable?
Good. I mean, we're gonna have a good training session today. We'll go out there, and then tomorrow we'll kick again, and we'll get some snap hold kicks and start getting some good chemistry going. Maybe a week or two to kind of just get into rhythm with them. Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. The great Eddy Pineiro. Interesting. I mean, basically this guy he's a hired gun. He could have signed. He's the 3rd most accurate kicker in the history of the NFL. He definitely could have signed earlier than this, but he wanted to win. I kind of like that. I like a guy who's, hey, man, I knew I could have a job. I didn't want a job. I want to win. I've been in the league a number of years. I want to go somewhere where I can win. I like that competitive fire. I also thought it was interesting. It's like what Jake Moody would view, I'm sure, as kind of a heavy conversation, which is the reality of NFL kickers, where you make it, you stay. If you miss, you leave. It's like, Eddie's like laughing about it. He's like, hey, it's the way it is, man. You make kicks and you're good. And if you miss, you're gone, and it's like, I think that might be a tough thing to come to grips with. And there's got to be a whole amount of pressure that you feel in that scenario. And that's why I asked him, are you become like kind of a little bit more durable emotionally as you go on? But you can kind of tell, like, if you ask Jake, hey, Jake, what's your mindset about the kicks? He'd be like, well, I'm just trying to, strike it consistently. And, he'd be way more kind of serious, kind of sober, kind of like that. Just trying to do what I can do. Where this guy's one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history. This guy's made 88% of his kicks in his career. He's kicked for 8 years. He's played the last 3 years for the Carolina Panthers. He made almost 90% of his kicks over the last 3 years kicking for Carolina. So this guy's been there, done it, and he's just like, yeah, he knows the deal. He knows the good. He knows the bad. Carolina wasn't his first team. He's been around the block. He's been cut. The worst dream you could have, I'm sure, as a rookie kicker is, I may fail and I'll get cut. Well, then I'm sure after you've gone through that exercise a few times, you build up a little bit of emotional durability, and you can kind of tell. We asked Eddie about the situation. He's like, hey, man, it's life in the NFL, man. You got to make kicks or you're gone. And then he's totally fine with it. It's not like he's worried about it. It's not like heavy over his head. It's not. He knows it. He knows it's a reality of his job, but you can tell he's compartmentalizing it. He's not wearing the heft of that pressure, where I think Jake Moody probably was, and he's probably still in that kind of learning phase where he's kind of learning to deal with the all or nothing nature of being a kicker in the NFL. So I'll say this, I know it was probably about money, right? The Niners had Jake Moody on a rookie contract for very little money, right? He's on a rookie deal, so he's very favorable. They had to pay this guy some money. They're hugged up against the cap, or at least they are in future years because of the Purdy extension. They do have money on the cap this year, but they're trying to roll over as much as possible and spend as little as possible. And they didn't want to go down this road. But I mean, just the fact that they allowed this to go into the regular season, considering how shaky, Jake was in the preseason, and you had Eddy Pineiro out there. I mean, if they had waited, if they'd said, you know what, we're going to give Jake another 3 weeks, I'd say, there's a very good chance Eddy Pineiro signs somewhere else, and they don't have this opportunity. So if Pinero goes on and has a really good year for the Niners and they make the playoffs and he winds up being this very, very consistent veteran, solid kicker, we're going to look back at the beginning of this year and go, gosh, what if Jake had a strong week 1? They might have gone with him. Pinero may have signed somewhere else. He said, hey, look, I could have been in camp, but I just chose not to be because I wanted to be on a winner. I wanted the right deal. But he's like, I wasn't going to wait till November. So it's September right now. So the Niners, they had a little window here where a really good veteran kicker was out there, and they went to him. And you know what? Nobody knows how it's going to go. But my guess is that Pinero is going to probably wind up making a lot of his kicks. And we're going to be, wow. Remember when the Niners were fooling around with Jake Moody? Why bother when you had a veteran kicker of this quality just a phone call away? But we'll see how it all shakes out. But I thought it was interesting hearing his perspective and just the heaviness of Jake's dialogue compared to, the lightness and the realization of, hey, this is just the way it is in the NFL from the veteran kicker, I think is why you only want veteran kickers, because you just don't know. I don't care if it's the greatest kicker ever. Look at the kickers that have gone in the first 3 rounds. Janikowski worked out great, but he struggled at first. Roberto Aguayo, I believe, went in the 2nd round. He flamed out. And now Jake Moody in the 3rd round, and he flames out. Don't add pressure to an already pressure-packed position. And more than anything, just go with these veterans. Go with the veterans. I mean, you can miss because you strike it wrong, but you can miss because your head's all wired wrong. And at least the veterans, their head's wired right. And it really is more about physical mistakes versus, physical mistakes or physically doing the right behavior to make it go through the goalpost. I don't think mentally these guys are all that affected by it too much. You can kind of tell. And I think the Niners needed to go with a veteran. And I'm really glad they found Pinero, and I think it's going to work out. We'll find out. Who knows? Maybe it'll be even worse than Jake. And 2 weeks later, the Niners will be looking for another kicker. But I don't think so. I think he's going to be pretty good. And the Niners will have dodged a bullet. All right. So let's hear from Jason Pinoch, because Pinnock is one of my favorite guys. I think this is one of the best offseason acquisitions the Niners had. They signed him as a free agent. He played corner at Pitt, and then he's played corner and safety in the NFL. And then he's played for the Jets, played for the Giants, and under the Giants, or with the Giants, Wink Martindale really started using him as a blitzer up on the line of scrimmage, adding to his value. And he's really good at it because he's really smart. Anyway, we talked about it today at his locker. Jason Pinoch, and a really enjoyable guy to talk to. I hope you guys like this conversation. Here he is, the newest 49er defensive back. He's a safety, he's a corner, he's really both.
We're here in the Niner locker room with Jason Pinoch, Niner safety, and you're a veteran. And what'd you think of game 1 with the Niners?
Man, it was dope, man. Just being in the new room, new environment, new culture. Seeing like first real shot at it. Got to go at it with that was first preseason with Denver. So, but good to see all the guys and everybody clicking now on the same accord.
I saw you at Pitt. You were a real aggressive corner at Pitt, and you've evolved. Wink Martindale, let's talk about Wink for a second, because I feel like he kind of brought out some different attributes in your game. You're really a factor at the line of scrimmage, and he was the one who kind of explored that. What did you learn from Wink?
That I could blitz.
You're good at it.
That was the biggest thing. Yeah. You know, he always said I was one of the best he's ever coached. So it's kind of a hidden talent. I didn't blitz too much in Pittsburgh, but especially not my rookie year at the Jets. But kind of found my little hidden talent, so ran with it.
What's the key to being a great blitzer?
Understanding ID, like just how they're gonna pass pro you, who's the one blocking you. I think that's the biggest thing because we have an advantage as far as DBs coming off the edge of speed. So as long as I could beat the person who I know has pass pro on me, and as long as you can win one-on-one with a back, which I think I can do against anybody.
You're a great fit for Saleh's scheme, and maybe the ability to not have to learn a new scheme. Was that one of the things that was attractive about maybe coming here?
For sure. Getting back comfortable and get my hands on the ball.
His thing is play fast, don't think, all gas, no brakes. That's his whole mantra. When you know the scheme, it's easier to do, huh?
Of course. Feet in the ground, mind clear, and you can just go play ball.
What do you think of the kid Siegel? He had a big first game. I thought he showed up all over the place.
Yeah, that's my dog, man. I was proud of him all through off season. Just stay down. It'll come to you. Just can't get it back. You know,
you're the vet.
Tight.
Oh, sorry. You're the vet in the room, and there's a lot of young guys. Do you feel the need, like when you're watching film, to maybe speak up a little bit more, be more vocal, or kind of point things out, or do you let the coach do that?
Kind of both.
Yeah.
Kind of both. You got to know when. I think more so like player to player, our thing is on the field. You know, making sure he's seeing the things he's supposed to see. Film him, I give more so to DB, and then obviously I'll say what I need to say if it's not clicking for him. But definitely on the field. I think that's your biggest vet impact is going to be on the field.
Film is a big part of it. I'm sure you watch film and you probably see things that I wouldn't see and that these guys don't see. How much film do you watch? You watch a lot of cut up. What's your film routine for the week?
I watch a lot. You got to.
Really?
This league, if you don't know what's coming, I mean, it's over with before it starts. You know, everybody best of the best athletes. I mean, for me, it's more today or really last night, and depending on how early they get it out Monday. It's like your early down stuff. So first, second down. So for me, it's shot looks, you know, when are they aggressive? Is it plus 50? Is it by the logo, etc.? What formations is it? What personnel? Who's the guy you like to go to? Single leg throws, etc. I mean, it goes in depth.
Yeah.
And you pair it up with, okay, what runs, and for DBs more so, it's like perimeter runs. Okay, what runs can get up on quick and tie that in with your pass game. You know, and then you find out your issues throughout the week.
Give me a quick thought about Kamara. He's one of the best, got great balance. Anything that you can share with us about his game after watching him?
I mean, you hit it right on the head. He's elite. So biggest thing for us is good hits, wrap up. That's gonna be the biggest thing with guys with contact balance like him, elite like that. I've played him twice now in my career, actually back to back. So last year and the year before that. But just a great back, great vision, patient. So.
Last one for you. The kid Stout, I thought really played well.
Yeah.
That was a tough assignment. Yeah. They could run it. They got Cup. He's young, but he played with a lot of poise. I know people, you know, the penalty in the end zone, but I thought he played well. What did the film show? What did you think of him?
He did play well. Everybody's going to
they're going to nitpick it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But what we love from a rook is understanding, okay, they're starting to attack me a little bit. And put the fire out. Like, that's what you want to see from a rook, and really from anybody you play with. Sometimes things might get up on you in the week or go against what we were studying and things of that nature, and it gets on you, and it's like you got to put the fire out because it's going to keep coming at you. So
awesome
that was
stuff,
a great thing to see from him.
Hey, man, one last thing on you.
Yep.
Niner fans don't know that much about you. You're a first-year guy, but you've been in the league a while.
Yeah.
Give me one thing away from football. You guys do a lot of film, a lot of lifting, a lot of dieting, a lot of training. Yeah. What do you do when you're not doing football?
Man.
What's your thing? You hunt, you fish?
I don't have my pool table here.
Okay.
But we had one in New York. And
shoot a little stick
back in Atlanta, man. I'm a shark.
I
like to play pool. But besides that, I play the game.
Nice.
I play a little video game, a little 2K, a little Call of Duty.
There you go. There you go. Hey, man, great talking to you. Welcome to the Bay. Have a great year.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Jason Pinoch.
All right.
All right. Good stuff from Pinnock. I like him, man. Heady player. And he's like, you know, when you have a lot of turnover in your secondary, it's nice to have veterans. It really is. I mean, you think about it, Renardo Green, second round pick last year. Upton Stout, third round pick this year. Marquis Siegel, fifth round pick this year, rookie. Darrell Luter was a member of the 23 draft class. Jair Brown was a member of the 23 draft class. I mean, you got a lot of youth back there. You gotta have somebody who can direct traffic and kind of bring the group together. And Pinnock is that guy. He's a blitzer at the line of scrimmage. You can play all kinds of games with him, because he's really a smart player, and he can disguise blitzes. I mean, we didn't really even get into the disguises of it, but you can really disguise blitzes well, and he's one of the best. So a lot of young talent in the Niners secondary, but there's no question that Jason Pinoch is because of all that youth, he is a really, really nice player to have back there. All right, let's thank our good friends at Habbas Law. Habbas Law has done an incredible job and been a great sponsor of the Krug Show, and we want to thank them as well. My dad was an attorney, an attorney his whole life. He worked for the San Francisco City Attorney's Office for 40 years. My brother was a practicing attorney and is now a judge. My sister's an attorney, and believe me, the difference between good attorneys and not good attorneys is the difference between success and failure. And this show tonight, or this video tonight, is sponsored by Habbas Law. For more than 40 years, Omar Habbas and his son Tarek have been standing up for people right here in the Bay Area. They're fierce, relentless attorneys. They don't back down until justice is done. When you're injured, insurance companies always try to play games. They try to minimize your pain and what they want to pay you. And Habbas Law makes sure they pay attention that they pay up. So they know the playbook because they've been battling these insurance companies for decades and beating them. And they're official partners of Bay Area institutions. The Giants, the Earthquakes, the Sharks, San Jose State, Santa Clara. They're not just advertising. They are aligned with the Bay Area community here in Northern California. So if you need someone in your corner, call the firm that insurance companies are hoping that you never call, Habbas Law. That's right. They will fight to make it right. 1-800-INJURED. Visit their website, habbaslaw.com. Omar and Tarek Habbas, fantastic guys. Once again, they will fight to make it right. Habbas Law. Thanks to Habbas Law for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. All right, that's going to do it. Hope you enjoyed our little walk through the locker room. We'll be back in Santa Clara for more throughout the week. And, of course, courtesy of Claudaddy Arcades, we will be in New Orleans on Sunday for Niners and Saints. And thanks to all of you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.